How do you improve lead quality with YouTube ads? If you're running ads on YouTube, maybe you clicked on this video because you're experiencing piss poor show up rates, or even when they do show up, they don't know anything about you, your company, or they literally just can't afford what you have to offer. And you're wondering, dude, how the heck did you get into this funnel in the first place? In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the 4 steps you need to improve throughout your entire ads system to improve your lead quality and make sure you actually get in front of the ideal clients you really want. So let's talk about it. So the very first thing that affects your lead quality with your YouTube ads is your actual ads and your messaging and your script, and also your setting, which most people miss. You see, the first thing you need to focus on is a high converting script. Your script has to use language that your ideal client would resonate with. If you're using low quality language, you're gonna attract low quality leads. For example, I target business owners that are making a minimum of 30K a month plus to join our mastermind, or businesses that are making a minimum of 100K plus a month to work with my agency. And typically they're already running ads on Facebook. And so if I'm talking to a business owner who's making 100K a month plus, it's gonna be a different type of quality of lead compared to someone who's only making 30K a month plus. If they're already making 100K a month plus, they're probably gonna be already running ads on another platform like Facebook, and they're already going to have experience with advertising in some capacity, or a strong organic presence where they're getting most of their quality of leads inbound coming through organic traffic. Versus the person who's only at 30K a month, they have an offer, it's selling, they have case studies, but they don't have much of an organic presence. They have some followers, they're making some money, but they don't have the systems, the processes, the sales process in place. They don't have many experience with advertising or spending money on ads. And so talking to those different types of people is gonna be completely different, right? If I'm trying to attract more of the 100K a month plus clients, I'm gonna be very specific. I'm gonna talk to them directly in my ads, and my messaging is gonna be very specific. For example, that's why if you go to our website, adspend.com, our hook of that VSL that's performed really well over the last few years and still works even right now is, hey, are all your eggs in the Facebook basket? You're probably thinking to yourself, yeah, but these ads are making me money. Well, remember what happened in 2008 when everyone had all their money in real estate? Yeah, that's what happened. That language is very, very specific to our ideal clients, because our ideal clients for our agency are already running ads on Facebook. And they are worried that all their eggs are in that one basket. And guess what? The real estate example was very specific as well, because most of our clients, the ones that would pay us the most money, they were already at an age where they remember the 2008 recession, whether they had a business or not. They know what I'm referring to when the real estate market crashed. And so we use that to give them a metaphor, an analogy, an example of what might happen to their business if they don't diversify their ads onto YouTube and have YouTube ads be a second traffic channel for their business. The 30K a month plus person is not gonna care about that. They're not gonna care about that because they don't even probably spend enough money on ads to even make it make sense. So like, dude, I don't even have my Facebook ads working right now. Like, let alone try to go on YouTube. I'm gonna have to convince them that YouTube ads is better and that they should run ads on YouTube instead, as opposed to the 100K a month person who's already running ads on Facebook and they want to use it to add it as a second traffic channel. And so your script really does the majority of the lead qualification, and this is where most people try to optimize everything else besides their actual messaging first. Now, so because your script makes the biggest difference when it comes to your YouTube ads lead quality, you want to make sure you do these few things like we just discussed. You want to call out your ideal audience. For example, for me, if you're a business owner making at least $100,000 a month already running ads on Facebook, me and my team can get you set up and running on YouTube so you can diversify your business's advertising portfolio and get even higher quality leads while spending just as much on Facebook and making just as much, so that way you can sleep easier at night knowing you have 2 traffic channels growing your business as opposed to just one. Completely different type of call out compared to if you're a business making 30K a month and you want to finally hit that first $100,000 a month, you're going to need ads. And the best platform to run ads on is YouTube. You see, 2 totally different types of avatars. So you want to call out your ideal avatar. And I'll talk about why sometimes people just do this, but they forget the next piece, which I'll talk about in a second. After you call out your ideal avatar, you want to address a big problem. Okay, so what's the big problem? Well, in my example, the biggest problem isn't necessarily a problem for them just yet, but it can be. Again, in the example of the VSL, they have all their eggs in the Facebook basket. And so if their Facebook basket gets broken and their ad platform gets shut down, their ad account gets disabled, their ads get disapproved, and they can't access their ads account on Facebook, their lead flow shuts off. Basically right then and there. They don't have any way, any scalable way at least, to feed their sales teams leads and calls on their calendar so they can actually make more money. The next piece of the script that's very, very important to improve your lead quality is going to be your big promise. And you want to make sure your big promise is the actual desired outcome of your ideal clients. So for me, I know for a fact our biggest promise that all of our clients tell us, the ones that we want more and we want to have more of them coming to work with us, is they want to make sure that YouTube ads can make them just as much, if not more money than their Facebook ads are, so they can scale their business further and faster. And so in all of our messaging that we do on content just like we are right now, we talk to business owners that are already running Facebook ads and we say, we can help you get up and running on YouTube ads in less than 7 to 14 days and generate as much as, if not more money than what Facebook ads is already giving to you every single month in less than 90 days. And we have a guarantee to make sure that that happens, given you meet the stipulations. And so you want to make sure that your big promise is very specific to your ideal clients. Now, you also want to make sure that, this is what most people forget by the way, your setting is set up for your ideal clients. So when you're filming your ads, how are you presenting yourself? Are you actually someone that your ideal clients would trust, who they're seeing you for the very first time? I have a client that came to work with us almost 2 years ago, and he was targeting basically people that wanted to make money with affiliate marketing. The only problem was in his ads, he had the call out. He was doing what you're probably doing right now. You're probably making call outs to your ideal audience. For him, he was talking to busy professionals. And the reason why he was doing that was because, maybe like you, he wanted to talk to people that actually had money, as opposed to the, average Joe that has maybe a couple grand saved up, but there's no way in hell they're gonna pay you their last amount of money to make more money online because, well, quite frankly, they don't trust you. And so in all of his ads, he was calling out busy professionals. If you're a busy professional and you want to make an extra income online, here's exactly what you need to do, right? The only problem with that is he was attracting a lot of low quality leads, but he was doing the call out, right? The issue was not the ads, it wasn't even the script, it wasn't even the offer, it was the setting and the way he was presenting himself to the marketplace. So like his presentation was just dog shit. And excuse my French, because he was wearing a wrinkled shirt, his lighting looked suspect, you couldn't really see his face, he had a massive glare in his glasses on the screen where he was filming his ads, so you couldn't really see him, and it was just a weird, totally scammer type vibe, and I was like, dude, no one's gonna trust you, and I don't even think if I had money, I would give you the money, because quite frankly, I don't even know if this is legitimate or not. His presentation was off. He didn't look the part of a busy professional. So how could a busy professional trust him with their money if he wasn't even presenting himself in a busy professional type setting? You see, that's why the setting has to be very important. Which is why when I film my ads, typically on my actual teleprompter there, I have the nice background, I got the plaques, I got the whiteboard, I got good lighting. It's because I'm talking to business owners and I need to get business owners to obviously know, like, and trust me. The best way to do that is to present myself in a setting where they would already be used to paying somebody like me. And so if you're filming your ads and you got the script right, you got the call out right, you got the big problem right, you got the big promise, take a look at your setting. Okay, are you somebody that you would pay money to and that you would trust in your ads if you were to buy from somebody like you? If the answer is no, then you want to change that, okay? It's not enough to just call out your ideal audience. And one of our clients, for example, he does sales management and leadership, and I've been telling him, I'm like, dude, you got to film an ad in a setting with a sales team and show them how you're working with the sales team so you can actually show the business owner who has a sales team what you would be doing if you were them to improve their sales team. And so you can get really creative there. You don't have to film a fancy production style video, but you want to make sure you're presenting yourself and you have a good presentation of the way you're showing up on camera and not having a weird rinky-dinky setup with glares and all this stuff. It does pay to put yourself in a good setting with your ads to improve your lead quality. And you would be very surprised how many people do all of this right, but they forget that, oh wow, I just kind of look like a scam, I guess. So once your ads messaging is talking to your ideal client with a good call out, you're calling out their biggest problem, you're making a big promise, and you're filming it in a setting that presents yourself to that person and gets them to trust you, which ultimately is going to be the biggest thing that improves your lead quality, because everything starts with your ads. Making great ads leads to great ROAS. We all know that. The next thing you want to do is you want to actually make it congruent with your landing page. So your landing page has to be congruent with your best performing ad. So if you're talking to your ideal clients in your ads, but they land on your landing page and they watch your VSL or they read your headline, and that's talking to a complete beginner, it's not going to make sense. They're going to click off and you're going to attract a lot of low quality leads. This actually happened this past week when I was working with another client of ours inside of our mastermind, and they have a business opportunity that they offer to people that have already failed drop shipping. So they teach failed drop shippers how to do what's called high ticket drop shipping, which is a much better business model. And so their ad was working. It was talking to failed drop shippers, but when those people clicked, they were seeing a headline that was talking to a total beginner. Their VSL was made for a total beginner, and their application was too, which I'll get into in a second. And so I said, dude, there's just a clear lack of congruency here. So the reason why your sales team isn't closing, and the reason why your sales team is complaining that nobody has money, is because people are clicking on the ads, they're getting to the landing page, and then it's talking to people that literally don't have any money, and they're looking to make money online for the very first time. Lack of congruency. It wasn't a straight line from the ad to the landing page, to the application, to the booking. So you want to make sure your messaging is congruent with your actual landing page, your headline. It has to be basically a copy of what your hook's saying in the ad. So I told them, you need to talk to failed dropshippers in your headline. Your VSL also needs to get very specific to a failed dropshipper. And it should start by calling out people who've already tried and failed dropshipping as opposed to complete beginners. So your messaging has to be congruent as well on the actual headline and the VSL and any other copy inside of the actual page as well. So what I helped them do was realize that they're making a big mistake that you might be making as well. You're trying to talk to two different avatars. You think you can help both, and so you're trying to make the headline and the VSL specific to like none of them, because you don't want to turn away the beginners, because those are people that do make sales for your business occasionally, but you also really truly want more of the already failed dropshippers. Like that's who you really want, because those people actually have more of the money and they're the ones that you actually like working with the most. But you're afraid to turn away the beginners, so you don't make it congruent, which is the biggest mistake that you might be making as well if you're experiencing low quality leads with your YouTube ads. You want to be very specific to who you're talking to on the headline and the VSL. And again, this all starts with your ads, because your ads should call out your ideal audience, talk to their biggest problem, make a big promise to solve that big problem, and then present it in a setting that actually resonates with your target audience. And you want to make a straight line of congruency every single step of the funnel from there, okay? Because if this landing page is not congruent with your ads, guess what? You're talking to beginners here, you're talking to qualified leads here, everyone who's qualified that clicks here is going to click out of here. And only the beginner is going to go through the application and the booking, and your sales team is going to be the one telling you, guys, they don't have any money. They're broke. These guys are not qualified. These are low quality leads. And you're going to be wondering, dude, what's happening? Of course, there's just no congruency. And so it all starts. It's a straight line of congruency. You got to make sure it's a straight line sales system, like Jordan Belfort would say, to make sure that by the time they get on your sales call, they're already pre-framed to know who this is for and how it's going to help them specifically. You got to be congruent. You got to be congruent, okay? You got to be able to be specific to who you want to talk to. Beginners will always find their way through this, by the way. Like the people that don't have money will always still get through. Like they just do. They just lie and they get on the call and then they just don't have the money. But that's always going to be true. No matter what business you're in, no matter what niche you're serving, no matter what, service you have. Like you just want to talk to your ideal clients, and just know beginners will come through, but at least more of the right ones will actually be the ones you talk to. The next way to make sure you improve your lead quality from your YouTube ads is actually your application questions. And this is the exact same thing I help these clients do that we're helping failed dropshippers get into high ticket dropshipping. They had like 9 questions on their application, and you would think 9 questions is a pretty good job to filter out low quality leads. But it's not about how many questions you have on your application. The real key is the quality of questions you're asking in your application. You see, with these 9 questions they were asking, like 5 of them were tailored to total beginners. It didn't even make sense if I was someone who already failed dropshipping when I was reading through them. And me, having no experience in dropshipping, but being pretty sophisticated, was really biased, and I knew the reason why they were experiencing a lot of low quality leads booking on their sales team's calendar who didn't have any money was because the application questions they were asking were pretty much total beginner questions. The first question on their application was, are you interested in building an online business? Duh, that's literally why I clicked on the ad. I went through the landing page and I'm going through these application questions because I'm interested in building an online business. Obviously, we can get rid of that one immediately, so I told them, get that one out of there. Second question was, describe your current financial situation. And it was like, you don't have any money, I do have money, I have some money, I'm looking to invest, whatever, I can live comfortably. And I was like, dude, again, talking to total beginners, if you're trying to talk to failed dropshippers, most likely they don't really need this question. You can just get it immediately out of the application. Another question was like, how much would it take to replace your full-time income, which again, is talking to beginners in my opinion. Another question was like, imagine it was 6 months from now and you were able to build your online business and live the life you dreamed of. How much would you be willing to invest to get that started? And I was like, again, dude, you can just be very specific and ask them, do you have X amount to invest into a high ticket dropshipping business to get started and this much to be able to invest in inventory? That question would be the best question out of all those first 5 questions to ask, because guess what? We're talking to people that have already tried dropshipping in the past, so they know they're gonna have to invest something to get started, something to be able to invest in inventory. And so we don't need to ask them if they wanna build an online business already, because clearly they do. They've tried to in the past. We don't need to ask them what their current financial situation is. We just need to ask them, do you have X amount to get started and X amount to be able to invest in inventory? If yes, great. Send them to the booking page. If no, no. Reject them and redirect them, right? Like they're not gonna get on the calendar. That's literally all we need to ask them is, do you have X amount to invest to get started and Y amount to invest in inventory? If they say yes, boom, they book. If they say no, we don't want them on the calendar because they're clearly not gonna be a good fit anyways. We can remove like 7 out of those 9 questions from the application and get a way better quality lead with just that simple logic. And again, it's not how many questions you ask. It's the quality of questions you ask in the application that make all the difference. Again, will people come here and lie about that? Maybe, but the chances of that and them actually booking on the calendar and not having money is gonna be a lot lower than the people that are booking right now that are answering all these questions that your team's wasting a ton of time talking to that are complete tire kickers. Okay, so once you've optimized the application questions, next is the booking, okay? So once they book, this is pretty simple. Once they book, you wanna actually have a setter reach out and call them to qualify them and confirm that their call is actually gonna be scheduled on their calendar and they're actually gonna show up. The setter can also do more discovery with the people and ask them questions about their application and send them more resources, sales assets like YouTube videos or Google Docs or actual just Gamma Docs, whatever you use that are sales assets, as well as just free school group invitation, for example, and free Facebook community access to get them more nurtured before the call and to consume more content from you. So that way you have a higher likelihood of them actually showing up, and you can further vet the lead by having a setter reach out to them even after they book. So the setter can act as another layer of friction, and you can actually have the closer do this too, to just make sure that they're actually qualifying that call, getting the show up rate to increase, and making sure before they actually talk to the closer, they are truly qualified and they're aware of what the investment's gonna be, and make sure that you improve your lead quality. So that's the 4 steps. You see, it's not just one thing, it's everything. It starts with your ads, your script, your messaging, your call out, your big problem, your big promise, which should be talking to your ideal clients that you want, not the beginners, the people you actually want that have money. Next, the setting. How are you presenting the ad? Where are you filming it? How are you looking in it? How are you presenting yourself? Would you believe yourself and your credibility? If no, chances are you need to do a better job there, right? Use the example I used earlier of the affiliate marketer guy who was talking to busy professionals. He was doing all this right, but he was failing at this right here, right? Not gonna help. Next, landing page. You wanna make sure it's congruent with the ideal ICP you're talking to. headline congruent, VSL congruent, not for the beginners, for the people you actually want to be talking to. Once you've gotten those two things down, next and last but not least is the application questions. You want to make sure it's not about how many questions you ask, it's the quality of questions. And you want to make sure your application questions are talking to your ideal clients that you want more of. This is going to help you avoid low quality leads booking through your funnel. And you want to reject everybody who's not the person that says, I have this amount to get started and I can invest X amount as well, right? Whatever your offer is, it's going to be dependent upon you. This is something you need to go through. You need to have someone's eyes on that can help you do this as well. Once they book, have a setter reach out to them, qualify them even more to make sure they're actually a good fit, get to know them, do a good discovery, a quick 15-minute triage, send them a YouTube video, send them some Google Docs, send them access to a free school group before they book on the closer's calendar, or before they actually talk to the closer, I should say, to further improve your lead quality. Again, YouTube ads is not rocket science. You're running YouTube ads to get more leads, more calls, and more clients. So that's the easiest way to improve your lead quality from your YouTube ads. You can see it's not just one thing. It's a bunch of things. It starts with your ads and your messaging. It then translates over to your landing page, and then it goes to your application questions, and then it goes to your booking and your post-call booking sequences and automations and your sales process. It's a straight line. It's got to be congruent every single step of the way. You got to talk to your ideal clients every single step of the way, reject them if they're not your ideal client, and make sure this entire system is optimized to the 0.01%. That's how you get the highest quality leads to show up. Of course, there's targeting. I have videos on that on my channel for free. You can go watch those. But it all starts with the ads. This is why, in order to improve your lead quality, you need to make sure your messaging's good every single step through the funnel, not just from your ads, but from your ads to your landing page, your application, to your booking, and your sales process, okay? When you improve your lead quality, your close rate goes through the roof. Why? Because your sales team's talking to people that are actually interested in what you have to offer, and they're qualified to actually buy it. If you're talking to low quality leads and tire kickers, you need to audit steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 in your marketing system right now. And I can promise you, if you just had a third party look at it, someone like me, right? I can clearly identify what is broken in your entire system very obviously, because I've been doing this for 5 years. I spent over $100 million on ads for business owners just like you. I can literally pinpoint exactly what's causing the friction and help you optimize it to get better leads immediately. Now, what we didn't talk about in this video was the actual targeting, and this could obviously have a major impact on your YouTube ads and your lead quality from people that are actually clicking on your ads and going through your funnel. And so if you don't have the right targeting, doesn't matter how good your ads are if you're showing it to the people who aren't going to be as interested in it or as aware and as in market for it as the people that you should be showing it to with your ads on YouTube. So if you want to learn more about how to get in front of your ideal clients on YouTube and target rich people, I literally made a video called How to Target Rich People Using YouTube Ads. You can click the video right here and I'll see you there. Cheers.